Awesome. My friend's here just making sure that we're all good to go now. He's going to head out the room. I think we're all good.
Yeah, I think that's it. So just, that's it. You want the aircon on?
I'll turn that off just in case it's background noise.
Leave your mouth there.
Yeah, it gets too hot. All right. We'll see you guys. I'll see you guys soon.
So when you stop.
Sorry for chucking you out your closet. So I'm in my mate's home studio, which is in quotation marks because it's also his wife's closet. So she's just getting her clothes in her bag.
Okay.
Sure, yeah. Go for it. Your mate's closet, awesome.
Well, it's this spare room, which is his wife's wardrobe, basically, and his home studio. Okay, so we're all good. Sorry about the delay. Yeah, it was a raft of problems there. So how's it going? So let's get to know each other a bit first. I can hear your accent. Where are you from?
I'm from the UK. So I born and raised in a suburb just outside London.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Which one? Whereabouts?
Do you know Guildford or Surrey?
I know roughly. I used to go to London in the summer to visit my aunt, but she stayed in like Putney and Clapham, like inside like London Central.
Right. Yeah. Sure. I had a few friends that lived in Clapham. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not too far. I'm probably like half an hour away from Clapham.
Right. Got it.
Yeah. So that's where I grew up, man. Yeah, and came back to Vietnam in 2013, I think. Yeah. So. Been away for a while.
I had to look it up when you said in the message that you were a third culture kid. Was that what you said? Third culture kid?
Yeah. Is that an American term or something?
I don't know, but it is a real term because there was plenty of Google searches came up about it. So I'm gonna ask you about that to define that since I didn't know what it was, and we can talk about that for a bit as well.
Okay, sure.
On the podcast. So you do. Let me just make sure I've got all the things right. So do you go by Chris or Christopher?
Chris is fine, man.
Chris Nguyen, and I'll say your name, last name horribly wrong. I'm sure. I've been here for nearly 5 years and I still can't pronounce names properly.
Yeah, right. That's fine, mate. Don't worry about it. I get it all the time. Yeah, you're good.
The last episode I just did was with a girl called Nhi, but she's like lives overseas. And so when she said her name on the podcast, she said Nhi. And I was like, wait, I thought it's pronounced Nhi. And she's like, oh, no, yeah, you are saying it correctly. I just say it wrong because it's easier for people to understand. She's like, yeah, I should say my own name properly.
No, mate, to be fair, right, I, for like 8 years of my life, I said my name wrong.
How would you have pronounced it?
So like in the UK, I said Nguyen, but actually it's Nguyen, right? So it's completely wrong. Like that's how I introduced myself. And then my dad was like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, I don't even know how that happened, but it's only until I actually lived in Vietnam, I was like, holy fuck, I'm pronouncing everything wrong. What's wrong with my life?
Do you speak Vietnamese?
Not really, no. So I grew up speaking Cantonese, so that's my mother tongue. Yeah. But we can get into it. In terms of third culture stuff. Yeah.
And then just out of personal interest, who's your football team?
It was Arsenal, but I haven't watched football in so long, man. So I'm you.
Glasgow Rangers.
Sure.
And then, for an English team, I've gone from Newcastle to Chelsea to now probably Liverpool's been my team for about the last 10 years. But I'm not a dyed-in-the-wool fan for any English team.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I used to be an Arsenal supporter, but I've just been away so long, and I don't really play football when I'm in Vietnam sometimes, but I just haven't got into the sport again, man.
Yeah. So you're in Bangkok right now.
Yes, yeah. Coming back soon, hopefully.
When you can get in. And what's your like full-time job?
I don't have one at the moment. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm a UX designer.
Right. Which is, what's that again? I know user experience.
User experience. Yeah, that's it. You got it.
And what is that? It's like how people interact with the website. I'm so clueless with these things.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Yeah, websites, apps. It could even extend to like services. So like For example, how do you interact with a cash machine, like ATM, or like et cetera, right? So it's actually a big range of things, but typically we work on like digital products.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. Right. So I'll introduce you as the host of Ranting Bananas, right?
Yes, that's right.
Ranting Bananas. Yeah. And your YouTube channel is called what again? Sorry.
Semi-grown
kid. You're currently in Bangkok, and then we'll just kind of take it from there.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good, man.
And I'm gonna record a pre-recorded intro after this call, and then I'll add that into the beginning, and then just all the admin stuff for the podcast, and then we'll start talking.
Right, and like swearing is fine. Is there something that I should be aware of?
I always forget to say that. Yeah, so try not to swear. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but just because on a podcast, if you have to tag yourself as not safe for work, it kind of limits where you can be found. Okay. So I try my best and just keep it clean in general. So I mean, the odd swear word is fine, but I don't overly swear.
Sure, that's fine.
I guess some of the other things as well, and it probably mostly applies in person, but I guess even on the call, I always try and encourage myself and the guest, just try not to talk over each other. So like if you want to add to a point, just wait till that person's finished. And I'm saying this to myself as well, because I do it more than anyone. So just try, because what it's like, it sounds really bad if people are talking over each other. So sometimes I just have to be patient and let you talk. I don't really talk like a huge amount. I just try and like get people's stories. So I'm going to be asking questions and just finding out about you. I don't put a time limit on it. They generally go from about 40 minutes to an hour, but it's just once we kind of feel the conversation has run its natural course, or maybe it's just sometimes it just gets too long. So I'm like, all right, we'll move on to those questions that I sent you. So that's what I finish every episode with, those questions that I sent. And apart from that, the other thing is because I do edit it, so it's not going to be like we can make mistakes. Like I'll often say a question wrong and I'll be like, oh, hold on, let me say that again. Or if you get tongue-tied and you're like, hold on, let me say that again, or whatever, anything like that. Or if something comes up, it's so funny because I send that question about, is there anything you don't want to talk about? And everyone says, oh, no, it's fine. But then during the interview, something will come up and they'll be like, oh, yeah, let's not talk about that. So if that happens, if something comes up and you're like, I'd rather not talk about that, then just say it and then I'll cut it all out and edit it and things like that.
Cool. Just out of interest, man, what software do you use to edit?
I just use, GarageBand on my Mac.
Okay, nice. I don't know if you're like random side tangent, but I'm using this software called Descript. And basically what it does is it transcribes all the podcasts. So instead of editing sound waves, you're editing words. And it will cut out all the filler words with like one click. And then you can also auto-generate your AI voice. So let's say like in a sentence, you miss out a word, right? Because you're speaking so fast or whatever. You can then put in like one of these words. Like it's really cool. I'll send you the link after, but I've been using it and it's like, it's cut down like editing podcasts to like, 50% of the workflow. But I don't know. But I'm sure you've figured it out already. But it's a quite cool thing to just mess around with.
That's cool. And does it give you the transcript?
It gives you the transcript, exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly. Cool then, All right, let's get started. And sometimes when I get started, it can take me 5 tries to like say the first thing correctly. Other times we can get it right away, but that's fine. And let me remind myself, what episode am I up to on this? I think it's episode 6. I need to listen to your podcast. I've started following it. And I intend to listen to it. Some of the episodes look pretty fun.
Yeah, I love your intro, man. It's super awesome.
Yeah, cheers. So it's so funny. So the guy whose house I'm at right now, he's one of my closest friends here, Lewis, and he's actually a music producer. And when I first started this, he said he would do like the intro for me. And he made that, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And that gets more attention than the podcast. Like nearly anyone who listens has just said the exact same as you. No one ever says much about like the podcast. Not no one, but the intro gets more praise than the podcast, which always makes me laugh. But no, Lewis is cool. So this is his home studio that I'm in now. So he kind of helps me with the sound. I used to do it all at home in my front room, and I had a microphone, and the microphone broke, and then I was like, I wanted to make it a bit better. So now I'm doing it in his little home studio. So hopefully the sound will be good. All right. So it's up to episode 5, not 6. And I'm going to try and get it out this week. All right. So I'm going to get started. So thank you for listening to episode 6 of... Did I just get that wrong already? It's episode 5. I literally just said that, didn't I? Oh, God. So we're now on to episode 5 of season... I fucked it up again. See what I told you? Sometimes it takes me like 10 times in the beginning. So we're up to episode 5, season 5 of 7 Million Bikes, a Vietnam podcast. My guest today is joining me all the way from Bangkok. He's locked out of Vietnam at the moment, like many people are. He's a designer turned content creator. He has a YouTube channel called Semi-Woke Kid, and also a very interesting podcast called Ranting Bananas that make sure you go check that podcast out. There's some really fun episodes on there as well. So I'm excited to introduce Chris Nguyen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Good to be on. A slight correction. It's semi-grown kid.
Fuck, I'm going to do it again.
For all those who want to... Okay.
No, I'll do it again.
No, you can just add that in. Oh, no, you can add that in later, man.
No, I'll redo it. I fucked it up.
Okay. Cheers.
Do you know, as I said it, I was like, I think it's semi-grown kid, but I'll just keep talking anyway. Semi-grown kid, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're now up to episode 5 of season 5 of 7 Million Bikes, a Vietnam podcast. Thank you for listening to this episode. My guest today is actually calling all the way in via Zoom from Bangkok, where he's stuck at the moment, waiting to get back into Vietnam, like many people are. I'm one of the lucky people that won the lottery ticket of being in Vietnam during the pandemic and being able to live a relatively normal life here compared to the rest of the world. So my guest today, he's a designer for user interface and user experience, and become more of a content creator now. He's a third culture kid. He's from the UK, and he's coming back to Saigon soon, hopefully. So check out his YouTube channel, which is called Semi-Grown Kid, and his podcast, which you can find on Spotify or Apple Podcasts everywhere, called Ranting Bananas. And you'll find some really interesting topics in there. It covers a really wide range of topics. And I saw, Chris, you just posted today that your niche is that you don't have a niche. Is that right? And my guest today is Chris Nguyen. Sorry.
Yes, I thank you for that awesome introduction.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're like me, you may use your laptop at places where you have to use public Wi-Fi. This opens you up to digital snoopers. It's a massive problem. It can be your internet service provider, or you know who, looking at what you do online, or a cyber criminal trying to steal your bank passwords or credit card info, or even a hacker at the next table trying to steal your sensitive data. These days, it is vital that you keep your data safe. NordVPN keeps all of these snoopers away. It makes your internet activity private, protects you from accessing dangerous websites that are phishing for your data, and lets you enjoy your favorite content securely, even while away from home. And it's easy to use, even I could use it. I've actually been using NordVPN for years now here in Vietnam, and I'm excited to be an affiliate partner with them. I've used NordVPN to watch Netflix, BBC, Disney Plus with ease, and I also know that my information and data are safe from prying eyes, whoever they may be. Join now and you'll get 68% off and 3 months free when you go to my link, nordvpn.com/SMB. Just again, for those hard of hearing, nordvpn.com/SMB. The link is also in the show notes. I know nobody checks them out, but go check that out and you can get the link from wherever you are listening to this podcast. As an affiliate partner, It also means that I will get a small commission when you sign up, but at no extra cost to you. So not only will you be getting a great deal through 7 Million Bikes, you get a great VPN and you'll be supporting 7 Million Bikes podcast. Stay safe online and enjoy the shows you love. Any questions, just let me know. You know how to get in touch with me. And thanks for listening to this show. Cheers.